Hey everyone, Mr. MC here, and for today's video, I'm going to take a look at Daily Race C, which is Group 1 at Le Mans. It's a 5-lap race with any Group 1 car, so the car we're going to go with is a Porsche 919 Hybrid, as this is actually a fuel race with the fuel usage at times 7, so fuel saving is going to be a big thing for this race, and the Porsche 919 Hybrid is the right car for that job. So we're starting from the back. I'm actually on my other account, so we're starting in 13th place, didn't even set a qualifying time, and our main goal is to try to move up as many positions as possible and hopefully try not to get punted along the way. And while there are many Porsche 919 hybrids in this race, there is a Toyota GR010 right behind me, a Peugeot 908 in front of me, a couple of Mazda 87B somewhere further up front, so there are a couple of people trying out different cars. But anyways, as we get started with the race, actually had to be careful going through the final chicane, and we're going to easily get past the Peugeot, as this car has a hybrid system, so this car has really good acceleration. But the top speed of this car is, it's not the greatest thing ever, and you'll see that in a moment. But anyways, gonna see if I can try to make my way past these group of cars in front of me, as one car is gonna get punted into the shadow realm, make up 2 spots right there, and we're already in top 10. Gonna go through Tetra Rouge. You can easily take a flat out while the Mazda 787B struggle through that turn. You actually have to slow down for that turn in the 787B. The Porsche 919 Hybrid can easily take a flat out, but the Mazda 787B has a really good top speed, and he's going to be flying past me past 200 miles per hour. And the Toyota and the Peugeot that I passed earlier, they're going to quickly catch up to me. Another Mazda going to try to get past us as well. We're going to go wide into the first chicane, but luckily the ghosting system is going to actually help both of us out, so we don't end up murdering each other. But while I do have a good acceleration out of the chicane, the top speed is going to be a huge problem for me, as a Peugeot right behind me and the Mazda besides me they're just going to easily get past me, as they have a much better top speed than I do. So I have to try to hang on for dear life in the slipstream to try to gain a little more speed and try to save a little more fuel along the way, as they're going to start to fight it out a little bit. Some cars are getting ghosted. I'm actually going to go inside one of the cars, but he goes and kind of pushes me a little bit to the side, but luckily nothing too bad happened. Just gonna try to hang on for dear life in their slipstream, as the Mazda is gonna get past me. Not even gonna fight that out. He's already flying past 200 miles per hour. There's actually another 919 hybrid in front of me getting swallowed up by all these top speed cars, and actually the ghosting is really strong in this race. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh my goodness, there goes the Peugeot spinning out at the end of the Mulsanne straight. So there's at least 3 cars in this group with a penalty of some sort, so my goal is to get really close to them before they serve the penalty in a couple of turns, so I can try to get past them as quickly as possible before they get back up to speed. Now I'm going to be right behind this Porsche, as the faster top speed cars are actually not too far up in front, and they're actually going to slow down a lot because we have to go through these things called turns, really sharp turns in fact. And that's where the hybrid of the 919 is going to really kick off and going to get really aggressive and try to get past these 4 cars. Actually make my way up from 10th place to 6th place just in that short moment. But I do have to rev the absolute heck out of this car to try to hold off the Toyota and the Mazda right behind me. And luckily with the Porsche, it has a lot of downforce, so you can easily take the Porsche curves flat out, as the Toyota actually went really wide into the Porsche curves. And luckily I was able to keep 6th place for now, so in the span of 1 lap I was able to go up 6 spots, so things are looking good for now, except for the fuel. I'm actually a little bit short on fuel. Unfortunately I did have to use a lot more revs on some parts of the track, so I can try to keep my progress that I've made so far. So I am a little bit short on fuel, just trying to use 20% of fuel or less per lap. So I will have to try to look for someone's slipstream to hang off of, so I can try to fuel save as much as possible. Getting past 5th place, going into the Dunlop chicane, and gonna rev the heck out of this car to try to take 4th place and going to try to brake as late as possible. Going to actually go a little bit wide, going to get bumped from the back, and luckily nothing too bad happened except for a bit of rear damage, but I don't think it's going to really affect things too much for now, and actually building up a bit of a gap between myself and 5th place, so I don't think I'll have to worry about them for now. So now my eyes are on 3rd place, who's not too far ahead of me, but I still need to feel safe. So pretty much the main strategy, if you're using the Porsche 911 hybrid, is to shift when the shift bar is 50% full, and do a little bit of fuel mapping if you're under some slipstream to save even more fuel. And the thing is that you want to use around 20% of fuel per lap. That way you don't have to pit at all for this race, as there's no mandatory pit stop. So it's a 0-stop race. If you do decide to pit, you're going to lose so much time that by the time that you come out of the pit stops, you'll probably get to watch the sun explode. But anyways, gonna stay right behind 3rd place. I'm not going to try to get past him, as I really need his slipstream to basically give me a tow, and I can do a lot more fuel saving. Going through Arnage, I'm gonna have a little bit of a moment, but he's gonna have an even bigger moment. He's gonna unfortunately spin out, so now I'm up into 3rd place. Now the question is, can I catch up to 2nd place, as 1st place is just way too far off, and I don't think I'll be able to catch up to him unless if he makes a catastrophic error. So gonna get ready to finish the 2nd lap, as actually 2nd place is not too far off. I might be able to catch up to him if I'm able to really string my laps together while saving fuel, which is a bit of a tall order, but doable. But I will need to be pretty aggressive through these turns, especially the chicane, so I will be testing the track limits and hope that I don't get a track penalty. So right now he's about 4 seconds ahead of me, and is going to try to be a little aggressive through the S's, and then going to try to go full send through Tetra Rouge. At least that's pretty easy to do in this car. And I'm already around 3.5, a little bit over 3.5 seconds behind him. So there is some progress being made. Skipping over towards the middle of lap 3, he's going to try to get a bit more aggressive through Indianapolis and try to get a really good exit out of Arnage, and just really try to take advantage of the hybrid deployment out of the Porsche 919 hybrid, and already about 1.3 seconds behind him. So I think it is possible to catch up to him, but once again, as I mentioned earlier, I do not want to pass him right away, as I still need to do a lot of fuel saving, and if I'm able to fuel save just enough, I might be able to make a push towards the end and use all the revs that I want. That way I'll be able to easily get past him and try to hold that spot. But here's the thing, here I was thinking that, oh yeah, I'm going to battle for 2nd place, but 1st place is actually going to go ahead and pit in, as he's pretty much out of fuel. So now it's a fight for 1st place, and here I actually want to show you why you don't want to pit in this race at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back a bit and show you why pitting is not the greatest strategy to do for this race. So the interesting thing was that this driver was actually in the Mazda L155, and while it is possible to do a 0-stop with this car, it's not the fastest car, so it'll struggle a lot in this race. So end of lap 3, he's going to go ahead and pit in. So while he's pitting in, I'm going to go back to my camera, and I'll have his camera on the top right corner of the screen. So he's going to be stuck in the pit stop animation. 2nd place and I, or well, now 1st place and I, we're going to go ahead and start our next lap, and we're easily just going to get past him as we're passing the pit exit. His car has not appeared in the pit box yet. There we go, barely appearing in. We're already going through the Dunlop chicane. He's going to start to refuel, and already he's going down from 1st place to 6th place, so he's already dropped down 5 spots. Yeah, he's dropped down 7 spots. And as he exited the pit stop, we were already going through the S's, so he's about I want to say 14 to 15 seconds behind us now. So yeah, pitting is definitely not the way to go. So I think he ended up losing about 25 seconds. So pretty much the Brazilian, don't have to worry about him at all. So now it's just me in first place, Starmy Kitten, and I'm just going to feel safe behind him because I just want to try to feel safe as much as possible. As I mentioned earlier, try to save up enough fuel so that I have more than enough to be able to complete the next lap, which actually things are looking good so far. But I want a bit of extra fuel so I can make a push towards the end of the race. So he's in a bit of an odd situation because he's basically going to be towing me around, and he needs to basically try to shake me off so I'm not hanging out right behind him doing all that good old fuel saving. So while I should have needed about 20% of fuel at the start of the final lap, I was actually at 22%, so things are looking up so far. Still going to fuel save through the Mulsanne Straits until we get past the very end of the Mulsanne Strait. So right here, this is where I'm going to go ahead and start to push, because now it's time to make the move before the dirt air screws me over further down the straight. So we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the slipstream and use all of my revs, or more of my revs. Going to be able to easily get past him, but I still need to hold him off for just a little bit more, as there's about a minute left in this lap for the both of us. Going to try to brake as late as possible for Indianapolis, but going to brake a little bit too late, and he's actually almost going to join me in braking way too late. Now I need to try to make sure that I nail down Arnage, try to get the best exit ever, get a nice clean exit out of Arnage, and use all of my revs, take advantage of the hybrid deployment, and keep using all my revs as I have more than enough fuel to be able to finish the race. And because I'm using a lot more of the revs, I'm going to be able to go a little bit faster and just leave them behind. Going to go through the Porsche curves flat out, so this part is actually pretty easy in the, well, Porsche, as this car has a ton of downforce just flying through these turns, just going flat out. No need to worry about there, but I do need to be a little careful through the 4 chicanes, make sure I don't get a track penalty, as that can put my first place win in jeopardy. So I'm just going to try to be a little careful, take advantage of the curves nice and easy through the final chicane, and have just enough fuel to be able to finish the race in first place. So a really great run from the back. And before I go on, actually there is something that kind of happened. So the car in 5th place, he suddenly teleports down to 7th place, and I got pretty curious about exactly what happened. So I went over to his perspective in the replay. So we're in his perspective right now, so he's getting ready to finish the race, going through the Porsche curves flat out. But then it's right around here where he runs out of fuel, so his car's starting to slow down. Someone behind him was close enough to be able to pass him right around here, but then, oh my goodness, this is going to get punted right into the pit stop barrier. Actually gets stuck in the pit stop lane. Is going to struggle to make his way out of the pit stop entry area, and just flew down to 8th place right there. Going back to the Mazda's perspective, so he's going nearly flat out through the Porsche curves. This was the car that also pitted earlier in the race, and he's just gonna go straight into the Porsche. Gonna grab himself a 5-second penalty, and I guess he felt really bad about that, because he's just gonna park it at the very end of the race and just leave the race. So yeah, I don't even know how to describe what happened there, but that was just a really weird thing that happened that I happened to notice and really wanted to see what happened. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. So if you like this video, you can press the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I do have a memberships program thing that you can check out down below if you want to further support this channel. But well, that's all for me. So do take care, everyone. Thank you guys for the awesome support. Thank you to the channel members for the support as well. This is Mr. MCA. Have a great week. Don't get punted if you do Daily Race C, and I'll see you in the next video.